you hear me? If you can hear me, let me. So we're going to continue from where we stopped by revising computer fundamentals. All right. So hello, can you hear me, please? Please, if you can hear me, let me know in the comment section so I don't end up talking to myself. We're already having a class. We're having this class before now. This is a continuation. So I want to know, you guys were saying you cannot hear me. If you can hear me now, let me know. Then tell me where you stopped hearing so I can know where to continue. Let me know where to continue. Tell me the place that you stopped hearing me so I can still know where to continue, okay? All right, so well, while we are waiting for you guys, I'm going to just continue from the generations, okay? So we have basically 6 generations of computers according to our course material. All right, about the one of the fundamental computer, which is kind of course for those students of the University of Nigeria. So we had the first use vacuum tubes, and it was between the 1970s and okay, so the third generation I said it started from the year 1963 and ended in 1972. So these ones, they use integrated circuits. The fourth generation was vacuum tubes, in case they ask you. Second generation, transistors. Third generation, integrated circuits. Then the fourth generation, which was between 1972 to 1984, used the large scale integrated circuits. All right, and this was where we started having microcomputers. Then the fifth generation, which was between the year 1984 to the year 1990, they used what we call parallel processing. Then after that, we have the sixth generation, which was all about massive parallelism, teraflops, explosive WAN groups, that is a wide area network, and others. Okay, and of course, if this material was to be upgraded, you will see that there are generations after this, because today we now have AI. All right, so if you are just joining us, you are welcome. So we are trying to continue with our class. We know that the network has not been favorable to us this evening, but we thank God. So I can see Ajoke Sunday, I can see Faye. You all are welcome. Then we have questions and answers. So those of us that are coming from our previous class, you already have the material we're using for this particular lecture with you. So we have discussed the key points in the module, the first topic. We can now look at the different questions and some answers, likely question and answers you might see. Okay, so the first question we have here is what is a computer? And this question can be asked in any form and any shade. Okay, yes, and then answers can also come in many ways, but the basic thing that you need to know is that computer is all about processing data to provide you with information. Now, as which generation use vacuum tubes? I know I kept talking about all these what I was explaining, the generation, the vacuum tube, transistors, and everything. So they can ask you which generation use vacuum tubes. You tell them that it is in what? The first generation. The second generation used what? They used transistors. So when we say memory representation, K, all right, what does it mean? You see, we're talking about the internal and the external memory of the computer, when they're discussing storage, they talked about the memory, and they said that K is equals to 1024. So what does that mean? All right. Yes, it means what? That has to do with what? Bytes. So that is explaining memory locations to us. 1024. That is the units. Okay, that 1K is equals to. Then we now have which method is most accurate for data processing. We saw that we have different methods, from the manual method to the mechanical method, and of course we also have the computer. That answer that which one is the best? The best method is the computer method. Now, what is processed data called? What is processed data called? All right, processed data is called information. Yes, very simple. You should not be failing that. Now say that which computer measures rather than counts. So I told you that we have classification of computers, and we have different ways of classifying computer. The first is by signal, and by signal we have three types: the digital, the analog, and the hybrid. So among these different types of computer, which of them actually counts? All right, the answer is what? Analog computer. Then we have another question here. What was the first general purpose programmable computer? The answer is what? ENIAC. ENIAC is among the fourth generation of computers. Then which generation introduced integrated circuits? Which generation introduced integrated circuits? That should be your third generation. Then a hybrid computer combines what and what? It combines the, what do they call it? The functions or the characteristics of both the digital and the analog computer. Yeah, evening, Miss Esther, you're welcome. All right. So let me ask us a question. Are we following? I want to see your response. Okay. So I think you can share with your friends, let them know that we are live. I think this one is a bit more stable. Look like I won't be staying that long before we actually move to the next subject. Okay, so maybe tomorrow's class will be here. We can even do our all night long reading. I think it's so well. I think not bad for the start. So let's continue. So please subscribe and also like the video. So you're liking the video. Yes, it's a way of showing that actually a platform that people want to stay in. Stand. Now let's move on. We have they can also ask us fill in the gap questions. Hope you guys know. For your examination, do you have to have fill in the gap? That means there will be no option. But the fill in the gap is not questions that are like that open